there! This is Ashley, your host for the Ready, Set, Depart podcast. Traveling with your family can be a disaster, but it doesn't have to be. Let's go! Hello and welcome to episode 5 of the Ready, Set, Depart podcast. We are so glad you're here. Let's talk about exploring things in your own backyard. During the pandemic, when we were more limited in our traveling, I started to get antsy. I needed to get out of the house and see something new. So I started looking a little closer to home. We had flown 10 hours to see some amazing things, but there were also amazing things 10 minutes from where we lived. So we started a campaign to see what was in our own backyard. So where do we go? We go to national parks. If you listened to last week's episode, you heard about my love for national parks. Remember, to be a national park, it doesn't have to be one of the big 63. I can almost guarantee there are national parks within about an hour of your house. Take Golden Spike National Historic Site in Utah. Golden Spike is just over an hour from where I grew up, and I had never been there. In fact, no one I knew had ever been there. So we all jumped in our cars and drove out there. I have to say, once we turned off the highway and started going into the desert, I started to question myself a bit. But we got there, and it was really interesting. If you don't know, way back in the 1800s, it was decided that there needed to be a rail line that went from the East Coast to the West Coast. So one company started in the East and one started in the West, and they met in Corinne, Utah. There's a funny story about how they both actually overshot the mark, but I'll leave that for the Rangers to tell you. They had a big ceremony and nailed a golden spike into the rail line as the last spike. It was quite the to-do. But it was also the end of the Wild West as they knew it. When I heard that, it made me kind of sad. They reenact the meeting of the two steam engines every day at the Golden Spike National Historic Site. It was really interesting and really hot, but the visitor center has air conditioning, and Trooper caught his first huge grasshopper. What a day we had. We also go to state parks, which are kind of like national parks, but usually smaller. Just Google your state and state parks, and you'll see a bunch of places to go. In some states, state parks are free, but some states, like Washington, they aren't, so keep that in mind. We go to museums. In fact, we recently made the trek to the Museum of Flight in Seattle and had a wonderful time on a dreary sort of day. Check out our website at www.readysetdepart.com for some pictures from our Museum of Flight trip. There are expensive museums and free museums and everything in between. Just find something that interests your family and go there. But here's a travel tip for when you're traveling around your own backyard. A lot of museums have free days each month, so check their websites. But our library also has free passes you can check out just like a book. They're often checked out, but if you're observant and quick on the click, you might be able to snag it and go to that museum you've been eyeing for free. We go to farmers markets. This time of year, I dream about good farmers markets where you can find yummy fruits and vegetables, honey, earrings, whatever you're looking for. We happen to have a great farmers market in our own town that I go to weekly in the summer. But there are super fun ones other places too. What a fun day it would be to find one that looks great online and go see if it's right. We've done this twice. Once it was an amazing farmer's market. The other one, not so much. So you never know what you're going to get. Exploring in your own backyard can mean events like flower and garden shows, Comic-Con, or monster jams. If your kids are little, this might be something to look forward to. But how fun to get to enjoy something that people travel to each year. Speaking of that, my family has a little dream. We want to go to a Renaissance Fair or a Highland Games, but we're a little intimidated by them. Has anyone ever gone to one? What did you think? Send us an email at readysetdepart@gmail.com and let us know. While we were at the Museum of Flight, I was reminded about the City Pass. Have you heard of these? For Seattle, you buy a City Pass ticket and save up to 31% off of 3 attractions or 46% off of 5 attractions. That's from their website. You can choose from the Space Needle, Seattle Aquarium, a harbor tour, Museum of Pop Culture, Woodland Park Zoo, Chihuly Garden and Glass, Museum of Flight, Skyview Observatory, or the Seattle Art Museum. It's a great way to be a tourist in your own city. But when I was looking on their website, I saw that there are city passes for Atlanta, Boston, Chicago, Dallas, Denver, Houston, New York, Orlando, Philadelphia, San Diego, San Francisco, Seattle, Southern California, Tampa Bay, and Toronto. I had no idea there were so many. City passes are also a great way to see what interesting things there are to do in another city. Even if you don't buy a pass, you can still look it up to see what's popular. Exploring in your own backyard is often a great way to see amazing things, but also be able to spend the night in your own bed, which is nice. Sometimes, though, it's nice to pretend you're a tourist and spend the weekend somewhere else. When we do that, we like to do a few things we've been thinking about at the same time, like going to a fun park and a museum, or find a light the world giving machine at Christmas time and go find an Adventure Lab cache at the same time. Here's something I want to try. Do you want to try it with me? Way back in the 90s, there was a song called Heads Carolina, Tails California. Basically, she was singing about flipping a coin and letting that decide where you wanted to go. One of these days, we're going to do this. Let chance decide what we see. Do you want to join along? So, how do you find cool things to do in your own backyard? It's pretty much just like planning for a big trip. But honestly, Instagram, Pinterest, and talking to people are my 3 favorite ways to find interesting things to do in my own backyard. If you want to read more about how I plan a trip, go to episode 2 of the Ready, Set, Depart podcast. Wherever you travel, don't forget about the beauty that is right in your own backyard. Hey, Trooper, what do you like about exploring our own backyard?
Thanks, Mom. Well, I like that it's so close to our house, so we don't have to drive too far. I only like road trips. I mostly like to go to the beach and throw rocks in the water. But museums are pretty cool. Did Mom tell you about the Museum of Flight? I loved the planes that I got to see I didn't know about before. After I got out of the museum, I thought, wow, I learned quite a bit about planes. That's Trooper's Tips for Kids today. Peace out!
Thanks for listening. If you like this podcast, be sure to share it with your friends or even leave a review so others can find it. Follow us on Instagram at ready.set.depart. This is Ashley with Ready, Set, Depart. Remember, traveling with your family can be a disaster, but it doesn't have to be. See you next time.